Okay, welcome to a new episode of Nate's MMA Corner. I'm Nate, and if you watch my show, you're in my corner. Today's episode's a pre-fight show for UFC 225, Whittaker versus Romero Part 2, the rematch. The first one was for the UFC Middleweight Championship of the World, the interim belt. And since then, Whittaker has become the undisputed champion, and then this whole fiasco with Yoel Romero missing weight again makes it a non-title bout, so it's simply just a rematch with no belt on the line. And then we have a killer co-main event with interim welterweight title on the line. And so this is a pre-fight rundown of the main card with predictions. So let's get started. So the main event is UFC middleweight champion of the world, Robert Whittaker, defending, well, I mean, not really title defense, just a fight, and hope he wins and doesn't get, beaten up or knocked out against Yoel Romero. And I picked Whittaker anyways to win this. I pick him by decision. I think it's going to be similar to the first fight. It's going to be a cat and mouse game. He's going to be running away from heavy shots of Romero and avoiding being taken down. And I think since then his takedown defense has gone better. And since he's healed up from his injuries and been training a little bit longer, he's going to be that much more durable and experienced. And he still has a significant age advantage over Yoel Romero. And I think Romero is going to get a bit tired in the later rounds. And so we're definitely going to see Whittaker take hold in rounds 3, 4, and 5. Yoel could win a round or two. I think the first couple rounds he could possibly win, but that's about it. And I think Romero needs to match yet again against Robert Whittaker. I think Romero could beat pretty much anyone else in the division but Robert Whittaker. So we'll see. I'm picking Whittaker by a unanimous decision, at least and I guess it would be a 47, 40, 48, 47 or whatever. Yeah. Anyways, Whittaker winning 3 of the 5 rounds. Anyways, in the welterweight division, we have Rafael dos Anjos versus Colby Covington. And Rafael dos Anjos has been a killer at lightweight and more recently a killer at welterweight. The way he manhandled Robbie Lawler in his last match was just wow. I mean, the significant strikes landed was very lopsided in that fight. And we have Colby Covington, who has come off a big win over Damian Maia in Brazil, which really put him on the map. I think everyone's underestimating Colby Covington. A lot of people are picking RDA. I don't know why. Sorry, Kenny Johnson. I know you have a history of training RDA, but I gotta go with Colby Covington because RDA has a history of struggling against high caliber wrestlers in MMA, and Colby Covington's no exception to that rule. So I got Colby Covington winning, landing at least 1 takedown per round, defending submissions of RDA and being in RDA's guard, and then landing some ground and pound each and every round, en route to unanimous decision 50-45. I could see the significant strikes be very lopsided in this fight in favor of Colby Covington. And there you have it, folks. I am picking Colby Covington. Sorry. And I just think he's a top prospect. Right? Well, he's the top guy right now in welterweight as far as I'm concerned. He's fun to watch. He's bringing life back into 170, and he has a lot to say, obviously, whether you agree with it or not. Then in the women's featherweight division, we have Holly Holm versus Megan Anderson. Now, to some of you casual fans out there, Megan Anderson is the former Invicta FC featherweight champion, and there was talk of her fighting Cyborg, and I wanted her to fight Cyborg so bad. Yeah, she was interim champ in featherweight in Invicta. Then they just basically made her the featherweight champ. Holly Holm has obviously great striking, but I think Megan Anderson could take this to the ground at some point in rounds 3, 4, and 5 and win by takedowns landed in the later half of this fight. And I think that's her game plan, is to only stand and bang with her as much as needed and then wait for the right moments for the takedowns. And then, yeah, Megan Anderson is definitely someone that, even if she loses to Holly Holm, I think Anderson is just going to bounce right back in the UFC, and we're going to see her fighting Cyborg before you know it, one way or another. So I'm pretty high up there on Megan Anderson. Yeah, I'm picking decision. And then in the heavyweight division, we have Tai Tuivasa versus Andre the Pitbull Arlovski. I am picking Andre Arlovski, actually. I know Tai Tuivasa, he has a bunch of first-round knockouts galore, but to my knowledge, he hasn't fought a former UFC heavyweight champ and a guy that's coming off a couple of wins, big wins that were much needed, in Andre the Pitbull Arlovski. I think Arlovski is going to be smart. He's going to dodge the heavy shots of Tai and let him gas out a little bit and then shoot for some much needed takedowns to avoid the heavy strikes. And then I think that could be at the end of round 1, and then round 2 and 3 he lands 1 or 2 takedowns each, winning him a unanimous decision victory. And then in the welterweight division, to kick off the main card, we have CM Punk versus Mike Jackson. Yeah, you know what? I actually I'm going with CM Punk here because I think that Duke Roufus has really worked hard on his striking and is very much wanting to make sure that he's not just a grappler, having a Gracie Jiu-Jitsu background, but I think Duke Roufus, one of the best coaches in striking you could possibly have, and CM Punk is determined to learn from his first loss, and I actually think that he's going to get this. I could be wrong. I mean, I don't know. You know, I mean, you know, Mike Jackson. I mean, you know, just I don't know. I mean, who does he? You know, what's his? You know, it's just like, you know, we know CM Punk's done jiu-jitsu for a while, and we know he's obviously trained quite a bit in striking, and Tyrone Woodley's had to see him in the gym. And then Duke definitely making sure his striking is up to par. I just think that, yeah, this fight is, you know, I think Punk will just work simple jabs and keep it simple, and win this fight. I know, I can't believe I'm saying that, but yeah, I'm picking CM Punk. Then honorable mention in the prelims, one of my all-time favorite fighters, Alistair the Reem Overeem versus Curtis Blades. I'm picking Overeem by second round submission. Second round knockout. I think he's gonna avoid heavy shots in the first round, get a feeling out for Curtis Blades, and then look for a big uppercut or right hook, overhand right, in the second round that he can land, because he's a world caliber striker, world class, world champion striker. So I think he can get it done here. And yeah, so I'm picking Arlovski. Overeem by second round submission. And then don't forget, we got Rashad Evans, Joseph Benavidez, Ricardo Lamas, former UFC champ Carlos Barza, all in the prelims as well. So it's a stacked card. Don't miss any fight on this card, top to bottom, from the first prelim to the main event. And so that wraps up the pre-fight show for this card, and stay tuned in the coming days for my post-fight. And until then, see ya.